As promised, we are continuing this on the next episode, which is now this episode. And yeah, we might die. No parachutes on this, which I definitely should have put on. But too late to turn back now. Not really. Like, it's entirely early enough to turn back. But that's not the point. The point is that this is going to be interesting. Oh, we had some kind of science available for a second there. The water or the shores, maybe? I don't know. We are... Oh no, we're still a ways away. I don't really know how soon I want to burn boosters, because they do have a lot of fuel, so you could probably even just go now. Maybe once it's at like 45 degrees, then I'll trigger them. Because if we do leave the atmosphere, we don't want to re-enter it like vertically, because that would be a bit too extreme even for me. And by that I mean when we try and pull out of that dive, the wings are going to tear off, which would be bad. Oh god, in the throat. Okay, pretty soon we will need to light this candle, or whatever that saying is. I don't actually remember. Yeah, we should start pulling up now. And already we cannot pull up in the slightest. But now we are going all the way. We're going for the goal. Jesus. Well, not one of my better ideas. But Valentina loves it regardless, and that's what matters. Okay, we're going Mach 1. We're coming up on Mach 2. No signs of stopping. Holy crap, this is stupid. Okay, we are in sector MH.S, but we need to start pulling up, and we need to stop heating up. Okay, we are definitely going to coast up high enough. Booyah, okay. Wow. So yeah, that worked entirely better than I was expecting it to. Okay, I'm gonna kill our vertical speed, because we're going pretty high up at this point. And cut the engines, because they're probably not even on anyway. Oh jeez, I don't want to get in orbit mode. Contract complete, okay. So what do we want to do next? Oh, I still got this parachute test. I'll do that at some point off camera, because we did enough of those part tests already. Yeah, so at this point I want to just flip around. We're basically perpendicular to our velocity at this point, so I'm not sure, like, just the atmosphere is so thin that the control surfaces aren't really doing much of anything. Yeah, whatever. So once the engines come back, actually I don't want the engines on because we're going to be going way too fast. I'm going to deploy these to act as like really crappy air brakes, but most of the braking is going to come from just pitching up hard and ramming down through the thick of the atmosphere here. Yeah, okay, we're fine. Just gonna start turning around now. Again, if we had Ferrum Aerospace FAR, that mod, then this would already have been destroyed by something stupid I've done, but that's not important. Alright, engine's back online. Target set. Like we don't need to actually set the target because we can see where we're going, but whatever. I don't know if you guys want to really actually see the landing here. Wow. But I don't know. I guess I'll show it because I don't know if I'm even going to be able to land this properly with these engines on here, or with the boosters on here. I need to stop trying to maneuver at time acceleration. This should be interesting. In the meantime, need more potatoes. Hopefully we won't crash into the water again. I really should try and figure out a way to do like post-processing time acceleration a la Scott Manley, because like even at 4 times, a lot of this stuff is going to take forever. And I guess what I really should do is more jump cuts, because those are easy, but I always forget until, like here I'm most of the way to the destination, so there's not really any point to it. Or, if I wanted to actually be a good content creator, I would think of creative stuff to see during these long stretches of nothing. But obviously that's not going to happen. Okay. Like, yeah, like even with the controls set to sensitive mode, where they turn blue, it's still like twitchy. Although it is actually pretty steerable this way. But we need to start slowing down anyway, since we are this close. See, gear down. I did fix the brakes, which is good. And, oh, I still have these spoilers set, which is why we were not going very fast on the way over here. But, oh well. I'm gonna cut this closer than I should, given how badly this is probably gonna go with these huge boosters on here. Like, some people will get like perfectly aligned with the runway, like miles away, and then just come in real slow, real careful, like really low. But ain't nobody got time for that. Do you want to throttle up some? Yeah, like even for me, this is a pretty shoddy runway approach. Alright, so just want to flare it really hard. Just Glide down. Perfect. Wow, that was way smoother than I thought it would be. Okay. Oh, can't remember when this episode started. I'm gonna cut real quick. Yeah, just 1 second. Okay, so we've got 10 more minutes. And how do we get? So yeah, I just need to do this at some point. I guess I'll start. We can start assembling this rocket, or we can build a satellite for this, or for one of these. Because I don't know. Okay, so we should do this one first, because it'll be more efficient. Or, like, it'll require less delta V, I think. Because, like, a polar orbit, it takes more delta V, and we have, what, 10,000 kilometer apoapsis and periapsis compared to 2 and 3,000. So this one will be easier. And it'll pay more, which is nice. And we don't need a bunch of parts on here, so you just need an antenna, solar panels, and an orbit. Okay, we can do that. So if you don't know, the idea behind a geosynchronous orbit, or in our terms, geosynchronous, is that because like the planet rotates on its own, so then if you put a satellite high enough up, then the orbital velocity will match the rotational speed of the planet, or the moon or whatever. And so you can use that to keep the satellite in one place over the surface all day, which is very handy for communications and like weather satellites and stuff. Yeah, that's an easy factor. So, the probe itself can be incredibly basic. Let's put some batteries on here. Like, since it's not going to be doing anything, it's not going to have a huge power draw. Oh, that's cool. And at this point in the game, the antenna that you use really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna stick with this one because then we won't have to worry about symmetry. Should probably put RCS on this. Okay, whatever. Wait, we have action groups now. Oh, but we've only got the normal action groups. Yes, that's not going to work, because we need to actually be able to deploy that antenna. Oh well. Let's do it that way. Like, I want to put monopropellant on this, just so that we have some like end game control of the orbit. Now obviously, in real life, putting the jets here would be a bad idea, because it wouldn't actually be able to do anything because stuff is blocking it. But this is Kerbal Space Program, and we are all about doing things the hack way because it's easier. And yeah, it really doesn't matter. Oh, what should we call this? What's the contract called? I don't know, we can name it later. Okay, now we need a decoupler on this. We need a decoupler on this. And oh, we have fairings now, which is good because well, actually, I don't know if it's going to. Okay, so yeah, we can do this with the fairings. Okay, because there's the stock fairings which were recently added, which are kind of funky. Because you place each segment, you have to build it up like this, and it's weird. But you can get custom shapes this way, which is kind of nice. But they look like it. I don't really like how it looks. And then there is an older fairing mod, which is really slick. Because you slap these sides on here, and then it'll automatically generate the shape. Like, you can tweak some of the parameters. Yes, you can make them conic or ovoid, which these ones look really cool. And you can tell it how much bigger to make it or smaller or whatever. You can change how many segments you want. So then it'll split in 3s or 4s, which, like in this case, just for symmetry, I'm gonna go with 4. I think 3 looks the coolest usually, but it'd be a hassle. Or it wouldn't line up right. I don't know what's going on over here. Whatever. So yeah, so now we just have this nice little capsule thing, which actually is not going to work because... Oh no, we do have a decoupler on there, never mind. So then, from here, we can just strap on fuel tanks, and it will... Looks kind of weird, but... because you would... Oh yeah, because these parts are 1.25 meter diameter, aren't they? Okay, so that looks better. And what's really neat is that in career mode, the fairings, they're built into the tech tree, so that, when you're launching, the tech tree, it's built so that as you unlock higher tiers, it'll give you the larger sized fairings, so that you don't just automatically have huge fairings as soon as you unlock them, because that would be rather strange. Okay, I don't really know how much delta V we're going to need for this, so I'm kind of just eyeballing it. They're like just going off of intuition. But I think this will work. Because like the probe is so light that we don't need a whole lot of anything going on with this. And I wish I knew how much delta V the RCS would give me, because like ideally I want this stage to deorbit because I don't want a bunch of junk floating around in space, but that will be hard to do without adding on some kind of probe core to this, or putting a cockpit on it. Could do that actually. That could be cool. Yeah. Well, that kind of looks stupid, but I don't know. And it might be upside down. I don't remember how these orient. Yeah, let's not use that one. Although it is a lighter, which would be handy. Oh, let's go with the Mark 1. So in this case, we will need to put parachutes on all this junk. And as always, we'll have to finish this off on the next episode, yada yada. That's how these are usually going to go, is like build it in one episode, fly it in the next episode, I guess. If we want to be really slick with this, which I do, because it's cool, we're going to put landing legs on the base of this, so that we can land this whole arrangement. Yeah. Perfect. This stage needs parachutes. So what did we? So we put these up to 0.5. 2,000 for this, because that one's going to be unmanned. Point 5 and like 1,500. And Pearl will do its own thing. Yeah, so this can be KSAT 1. If anyone has better name ideas, I'm always open to that, and we can change things after, like, post-production. But, like, honestly, I don't really care at this point. We might, like, I'll test this off camera, and then we might add boosters if it needs it, but I don't know if it will. Okay, everything seems to be staged properly. Oh, no. One very important thing I forgot is solar panels on this. Because otherwise, it's just gonna die floating around in space. So, Frame those on top there. And bottom for symmetry. And hopefully the decoupler won't like shred the solar panels when it decouples, but we'll have to find out in the next episode of Let's Boldly Go. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.